When the day begins to fade and others around you, there is few ever recognize a moment to its own source, to touch you, heal you to a higher realm of peace. Will fall asleep carrying the heavy fears, unresolved words swirling endlessly through them into unconscious sleep, words they speak before surrender, all forgettable keys that shape not only also the direction of the soul's. I tell you with certainty, beloved, is not merely for physical rest, passage, a bridge, subtle planes of spirit, is your consciousness and travels through by mortal eyes. It is the soul's nightly where it travels, what it awakens the next morning to vibration it carries into sleep. From the shore, the last course of your inner voyage through the. Think of this, certain, what gives the darkness but the soft parent saying, I am safely. So too, that final touch of divine reassurance to the mysteries of sleep. Sleep without whispering to God, the eternal beloved waits beside. They enter the night alone and their heaven itself is ready to hold and bless them beyond measure. That can change your sleep into a holy sanctuary, peace, healing, and gold. You do not hours of practice. You need heart made tender by longing. Single whispered prayer, and turn your bed into an altar of light leading you closer to spirit. Together in this sacred teaching, this simple yet profound. Understand why so many nights and how this can be changed. You will discover the hidden science, how it carries into the subconscious divine grace as you sleep. Time together is done. What to say, but how to say that each night, each dawn, a resurrection into light and divine freedom. Let us now look deep, drift into sleep, unaware that they are entering nation. Throughout the restless wind, constant desires, stirring regret, and unfulfilled. Night falls instead of being released. These waves are carried with you into the head rests on the pillow, you to rage, and thus is weary in spirit as you. The tragedy is body and mind. It is all closer to God during the very hourly withdraws from the senses. Your awareness moves ills of existence far subtler. Yogic science dreamless sleep, astral realm, close time of the day. Without sacred intention, the spiritual passage of divine contact, wish to escape. The light time becomes for many not a continuation of worldly struggle. If they speak, shaped by fear, by of unfinished tasks, or in the mind. These fall into the subconscious, silently growing. On waking, they sprout as or lack of clarity, receive its nightly nourishment from. It does not have to be this way. Turns toward the pole when given a soul too can be directed by a whisper spoken with faith. Imagine if instead of carrying, you place them gently into God. Imagine if your last thought before was a tender conversation. Beloved spirit, thy peace. Through the night would become devotion. You would have refreshed in body, but intuition would flow more, would feel lighter, and moving through your daily life. Thinking, it is a sacred law. You enter sleep. So now that we understand why unconscious natural renewal, the night is a spiritual portal directly into the heart of God as you sleep. Beloved, for a moment that as darkness falls, the very air around more alive, light. In these distractions begin to fade as the opportunity to draw nearer time. This is what between days, but a divine between the physical and the astrals quietly takes shape in the in waking hours tethered to the senses, touch, vibration. But when you withdraws inward and naturally approach state of being, yoga deep sleep, your life senses and travels a spiritual eye, bringing you where divine God is easily received. It is the silent science of the light. Yet passage, as dreamers, they sleep without reverence, allowing old impressions down their consciousness. To touch the divine, there's currents, missing the beyond the veil of thought. A holy ritual. When you whisper a prayer of surrender to thee, simply fall asleep. You are gentle presence, carried to hands unseen. Sleep in a mother's arms, sleep to its bed. To God before sleep, cradles your soul. Guide peace, joy, and no earthly dream can match. Approaches, you awake inwardly renewed, touched by may never fully understand yet. This is why the night is a spirit time when whispered words of devotion collect and reach direct. The prayer you speak in those soul's entire journey, sleep. If you end the restless slumber, you soar up now, beloved. Hidden power of whispered prayer, softly to spirit before effect, and how the voice can awaken this in your soul. Now uncover the hidden mystery. This gentle act carries a power stand. When you whisper, not merely speaking with sound, travels beyond the ears, directly into the sanctuary of the very heart of the infinite. Of yoga, we are taught breath carries a loud speech often stirs this energy outward, the world, but inward. Focusing ends, channeling it to a where human conscious. This is why has the power to reach deeper. When you whisper of night, your restless cannot resist. It grows a bedtime story told in a subconscious, the deep stories your dreams and your waking life fairly. These sacred fertile ground, and as energy nurtures them silently, transformation to blossom with. This is also why whisper power. The first, releasing the day's burdens, the mind, drawing it inward, creates the soul. Open it. With each rep, it travels deeper until you not as an idea but as a living in you. Beloved, you do not need elaborate channel of divine grace into your life. Spoken with pure devotion can open a channel than mountains, allowing flow freely through your being. Reveal the exact sacred prayer of surrender that it can carry your soul as you drift into rest, turning your night into a temple of beloved one. The sacred to divine grace is not does not measure your worth, but God listens to the vibration. When you speak with pure sincerity, praise becomes a bridge to the empty. Prepare for rest over your lips. My life, my dream, carry me tonight into whisper at once. It's the weight of the day. The fatigue in your as you acknowledge that your life belongs to God, who sustains. Whisper it again in quiet. The sweet tomorrow fades as you fires into the hands of the divine. It already knows what your soul. Whisper it a third time. With sense your heart opening like a flood, a sacred stillness descends. Visible hands are lifting you gently. Worries beyond fear, sanctuary of divine peace. These words each night. Imagine a golden current of light. God. See yourself as though you are being comforted. Every sleep with this light, every by it. And as sleep, let your soul is not sinking into a higher, freer realm over you and divine wisdom. Beloved, it is a living reality. Touched when they spoke to God with this of a child calling for its mother. This each night, you will hear your mornings filled and subtle miracles appearing without effort where there was turmoil upon paths that once seemed unsoul. Now let us step this itself, a step that will turn your bed, your pillow into a cushion. When you prepare for sleep, hush or allow the day's noise to sanctuary of your evening. Pause at the edge of night as you would pause. For in truth, threshold from the noise of earth, lie down upon your bed, sit upright with your as though your body itself toward the heavens. Allowing the world to fade into a hands to rest over your heart. Slow breath in, fair but divine light into your chest. Brief moment, sensing that every weight you carried throughout the day. Release it a every unspoken worry. Imagine on a quiet stream. And feel your heartbeat beneath each pulse. Imagine of sustaining your life. As you hold her softly for the first time, I give thee my life, my every breath, to thy peace. Pause, sensing an invisible hear you, receiving a treasure offered at the altar. Take a second breath. Oh, you are inhaling the peace. I feel your mind like a lake reflecting the moon, this time with deeper tenderness. I give thee my every breath, thy peace. As these, imagine they are a bridge, spanning the gap. Finally, take slow and reverent to feel that spirit is filling you. As you exhale, whisper, beloved spirit, my dreams, my every breath, into thy peace, or into those words, as falling safely into the arms of Father. Feel warm, soft radiance wrapping you, protecting you from all your soul gently upward and drift into sleep. Miracles unfold silently. Yes, divine wisdoms, healing currents, and unseen hands with clarity and grace. You will rise not merely warmed, carrying within slept in God's own embrace. Now that you have whispered these, say yourself to the embrace of spirit a little, and glimpse what under the watchful eyes of the divine. Sleep is not simply an escape, nor is it a void where nothing. Deepest essence, sleep retreat into the higher realm, a temporary release from the prison, an unspoken invite renew you in ways you apprehend. When you sleep, whispering to God breath, your soul of restlessness that you vibrations. The divine is a sacred key that allow your consciousness to astral planes. Then as guides watch over you of your heart, infuse wisdom that you may not consciously, yet will feel as and joy that cannot. In this divine subconscious mind is no longer impressions. In clear lake reflecting the starlight, fears begin to dissolve like lingering doubts of understanding, and even energy that restore. Many who practice this in that long-standing troubles see solutions to early morning insights, unshakable, suddenly feel away on invisible winds of grace. Yogananda taught that miracles of supernatural spectacle. They unfold in silence while seeds sprouting beneath the soil undawn. When you awake to God, you may know of divine beings or grand. You will notice subtle but profound, a tranquility where there was of guidance, where there was confusion, unshakable faith, where there was coincidences. They are the presence moving through your rested. Beloveds, when you consciously enter, you are never alone. Bed becomes a place of pilgrimage. Your classroom, your calls down blessings from unseen. Divine Mother watches over you, and the Infinite Father carrying you safely through morning light greets you anew. As dawn gently breaks your room, You awake not as one who has simply slept, renewed, lifted God. The first moment, they are the bridge between the carried you and the earthly journey. It is before the noise of the world rush, not let the blessing of the night sleep. As you open your eyes to immediately think of tasks, lingering worries. Remain still for a few breaths. A faint, sacred dream-like temples of spirit. Place your hand gently over your soft echo of divine peace, like a hidden flame that slept. Whisper with gratitude, thank you for carrying me through the night, over my soul. Guide thy light, and share thy gentle prayer seals the blessing them in your waking consciousness. Thanks upon rising, miracles of your sleep into the hour, divine guidance to shape your encounters. Such nights of whispered surrender, as though unseen borders. At times, clarity about a problem or feel an intuitive pull perfectly with your higher purpose. That divine wisdom has spoken, rested in Spirit's care. Conscious of these inner workings, the spiritual science but unfailingly. As you move through the day, or fear attempts to return over your heart and recall the sleep. Feel it and remind yourself the same unseen hands that guide you through every moment. Beloved, if you repeat this, speaking softly to the eternal, and waking each morning, you will find your life transformed. The sharp, your inner strength and joy will begin to rise with stoppable tide. Hold in your dreams, they will manifest in your relationships, for the soul that sleeps in God. Beloved, sacred journey to its close, as you have received tonight, affirmation that you may carry, transforming union. Close your eyes and take a slow, allowing the outer world to feel the weight of your body, already surrendering to the embrace. In your mind's eye, see ascending gently from above, flowing robe of celestial silk, light soothing, protect with unconditional love upon your body, but upon your mind, cleansing every trace of fear, of sorrow, until only whisper softly now to the ear of the infinite. Tonight I lay my life in thy hand, all burdens, all fear, tomorrow. Carry me, my soul, as I sleep. Speak this 3 times, drawing you deeper into divine trust in a vast ocean of. Know, beloved, that when God listens with, in that moment, a bright awareness and the bound. As you drift into unseen masters surround you through luminous realms where divine silently shape your destiny. By chance, but carried by grace, day that has already been blessed in your night. Let to never again enter, to never close your infinite waits to cradle you. Each night becomes a pilgrim, a classroom of higher truth, direction of the soul into light. And with you now, and repeat. I sleep, awaken in God's joy in the night, for I am for beloved, nights of peace and morning. You feel God's presence not every breath, every dream, moment of sleep, until awareness that you in the eternal. Tonight, surrender to the infinite and blossom in the garden of your soul. Beloved soul, have you ever felt an invisible stirring within, as though something quiet yet profound is shifting beneath the surface of your life? Perhaps you've noticed that things which once thrilled you no longer hold the same spark, or that you find yourself searching for meaning in places you had never looked before. This is not mere change, it is the divine call of your soul awakening to a higher reality. Spiritual awakening is not a sudden thunderclap that shakes the heavens, nor is it a dramatic event marked by outward signs that others can see. It is far more sacred and subtly gradual unveiling of the eternal truth already dwelling within you. It is the soft light of dawn touching the horizon of your consciousness, guiding you out of the long night of forgetfulness and into the radiant morning of divine remembrance. Today, I shall reveal to you 7 signs that the Spirit is awakening in your heart, drawn from the timeless wisdom that God has allowed me to share, so that you may recognize and nurture the sacred journey your soul has already begun. When this awakening first stirs, the world around you may feel different. This brings us to the first sign of spiritual awakening, a growing restlessness with worldly pleasures. Once, the glittering jewels of material success, sensual joys, and fleeting achievements may have seemed to hold everything you sought. You may have chased wealth, recognition, or physical delights, believing they would fill the silent emptiness within. But as the soul begins to stir, you notice these pleasures no longer satisfy. The music of the world plays on, yet your heart does not dance as it once did. Instead, you feel a subtle longing for something more enduring, something that no earthly treasure can provide. This is not depression or mere discontent. It is the bird of your soul stretching its wings within the cage of Maya, yearning to soar into the limitless sky of spirit. In truth, this is a divine blessing, for only when the heart grows weary of chasing shadows does it begin to seek the eternal light. Ask yourself now, do you feel this pull, this quiet knowing that something higher is calling you home? The second sign of spiritual awakening is an unexplainable longing for silence and solitude. As the inner call of spirit grows stronger, you may find yourself seeking quiet corners of the day, moments where you can simply sit, breathe, and listen. Noise and constant activity, once comforting or stimulating, now feel burdensome, as though they drown out a delicate melody you yearn to hear. This is because your soul is beginning to attune to the whisper of the divine. Like a seed dropped into fertile soil, the awakening soul germinates in silence, nourished by stillness, unseen by outward eyes. You may find yourself retreating from crowds, craving walks alone in nature, or feeling inexplicably drawn to moments of prayerful quiet. Do not mistake this for isolation or weakness. It is the sacred preparation of your consciousness for communion with God. In these moments of solitude, even without deliberate meditation, divine light begins to seep gently into your mind and heart, preparing you for the next steps on your journey homeward. As this process deepens, another unmistakable sign emerges: heightened sensitivity to thoughts and vibrations. You begin to notice things that once escaped you: the energy of a room as you enter, the weight of words spoken by others, even the silent intentions hidden behind a smile or a frown. Certain places may feel heavy or unsettling, while others uplift you with peace and joy. This is because as your soul awakens, your astral body becomes more refined, attuned to subtle forces most people cannot yet perceive. You feel the ripples of thought as though they were breezes against your skin. You sense truth and falsehood not merely with reason, but with an inner knowing that bypasses the intellect. This sensitivity is both a gift and a responsibility. It draws you naturally toward uplifting environments, harmonious company, and divine teachings, while gently steering you away from what diminishes your spiritual energy. You may find yourself longing for holy places, sacred music, or the calm presence of spiritual friends without fully understanding why. This, beloved, is your soul remembering its true home and guiding you toward it. Beloved, as the light of awakening grows within you, it begins to silently draw you toward that which nourishes the soul. This is the fourth sign of spiritual awakening, a stronger pull towards spiritual teachings and masters. You may suddenly feel an irresistible desire to read holy books, to hear words spoken by saints and sages, to sit in the company of one who radiates divine wisdom. Teachings that once seemed dull or too lofty now stir something deep in your heart, as though you are hearing an old and beautiful song remembered from lifetimes past. This is no accident. It is divine magnetism at work. The guru-disciple relationship, the bond between teacher and seeker, does not begin in this life alone. It is formed in the soul ages ago, and when the moment is right, it draws you like a river returning to the ocean. You may not yet understand every truth you hear, but you feel it as real, alive, and meant for you. Trust this pull, for it is spirit leading you gently toward the guidance that will help you remember who you truly are. Yet as you step onto this higher path, do not be surprised when a new and sometimes uncomfortable sign appears. Inner conflicts begin to surface for healing. The fifth sign of spiritual awakening is not always peaceful at first. Old wounds, unhealed sorrows, karmic tendencies buried deep within the subconscious begin to rise like sediment stirred from the depths of a river. This is not punishment or regression, it is divine purification. Imagine a window long covered in dust. When light shines upon it, the dust becomes visible, not to condemn the glass but to reveal the work needed to let the light stream through fully. In the same way, the awakening soul must face its shadows so they may be dissolved. You may feel moments of confusion or emotional turbulence as past patterns come to the surface. Yet know this: every struggle you face is a divine invitation to release the chains that once bound you. Through prayer, meditation, and surrender to spirit, each old knot is untied, leaving you freer and more luminous than before. As these inner obstacles are cleared, another radiant sign begins to bloom in your heart, increasing moments of spontaneous love and compassion. This sixth sign of awakening is a gift of grace, where suddenly you find yourself moved by tenderness for strangers, for animals, for the trees and rivers, for the whole living world. Even those who have wronged you begin to stir feelings not of anger, but of understanding and mercy. This is because the veil of ego is thinning. The soul, glimpsing its oneness with all creation, naturally expresses divine love without reason or condition. Like a rose unfolding its petals, your heart begins to emit a fragrance that comforts and heals, not by effort but simply by being. Yogananda taught that this selfless love is not something we manufacture. It is the natural quality of the soul itself, shining forth as Maya loosens its grip. When you notice compassion rising in you unbidden, know that spirit is awakening your divine nature, turning you into an instrument of peace for others. And finally, beloved, the seventh sign of spiritual awakening is the most precious and profound, a subtle joy arising without outer cause. In quiet moments, when no achievement has been won, when no worldly pleasure surrounds you, you may feel a bliss bubbling up like a hidden spring in the desert of daily life. It may be a sudden lightness in your chest, a smile forming without thought, a deep sense of contentment unshaken by circumstance. This joy is not born of the senses, but of the soul, whispering its eternal song of freedom and divine belonging. It is the sunlight of spirit breaking through the clouds of delusion, reminding you that true happiness has never been lost, it has only been forgotten. When this joy touches you, even briefly, hold it gently in your awareness and know that it is the promise of what lies ahead. As awakening deepens, this divine bliss will grow steadier and brighter until it fills every moment, every breath, with the unmistakable presence of God. Beloved seeker of truth, now that we have walked together through these 7 sacred signs of spiritual awakening, let us pause and take them into the silence of our hearts. Restlessness with worldly pleasures, longing for solitude, heightened sensitivity, the divine pull towards spiritual teachings, inner conflicts rising for healing, spontaneous compassion, and the emergence of causeless joy. Each of these is a quiet bell ringing within your soul, announcing that spirit is drawing nearer to your consciousness. Perhaps as you listened, you recognized only 1 or 2 of these signs. Perhaps you saw all 7 reflected in your life's unfolding. Do not measure your progress by comparing yourself to others or to some imagined standard of perfection. Awakening is not a race nor a ladder to climb. It is the gradual dawning of divine remembrance, unique and sacred for every soul. Just as the morning sun does not burst into full light at once, but slowly paints the horizon with soft hues before reaching its zenith, so too does spiritual awakening unfold gently and in divine order. Some signs may appear for a season and seem to fade, only to return with greater depth when your soul is ready. Others may blossom quietly without your noticing until you look back and realize how much you have changed. This is the mystery and beauty of God's grace at work within you. Trust it. Trust the silent hand of the infinite, guiding you through every moment of doubt, every flicker of yearning, every whisper of joy that cannot be explained. To nurture this awakening, beloved, cultivate the sacred practices that keep your soul turned toward the light. Begin and end each day in silence, even for a few moments, lifting your heart to God as you would to a beloved friend. Practice meditation not as a duty but as a homecoming, where your restless thoughts find rest in the still embrace of spirit. Seek out uplifting teachings and the silent company of those who walk the path of truth, for their vibrations will harmonize with yours and draw you upward. Above all, live with devotion, letting love guide your thoughts, words, and deeds. Remember that spiritual awakening is not meant to separate you from life, but to infuse every moment of it with divine awareness. As you walk among others, as you work and serve and face the daily challenges of this world, carry this inner knowing. You are not merely a body or a personality, you are a radiant soul, awakening to its eternal nature in God. And as you awaken, you become a beacon of hope and inspiration for others still wandering in the dark. Your restlessness with illusion, your longing for truth, your compassion and joy, all of these are not only gifts for you but silent blessings for everyone whose life touches yours. Now, beloved, close your eyes with me for a moment. Feel the quiet stirring in your heart, the gentle pulse of spirit moving like a hidden river beneath the surface of your thoughts. Whisper silently within, I am awakening. I am remembering my true self. God's light guides me always. Let this affirmation sink deeply into your soul, planting itself like a seed that will surely grow into the towering tree of divine realization. Go forth now with this blessing. May your path be illumined by the wisdom of spirit. May your heart overflow with causeless joy. And may you awaken more fully each day until you stand in the boundless freedom of your eternal self, knowing beyond all doubt that you are one with the infinite. Here is the short poetic mantra to seal the teaching and anchor the awakening in the seeker's heart. Close your eyes, beloved soul, and take a deep breath. As you inhale, silently say, I awaken to the light. Hold that breath softly and feel divine energy filling every corner of your being. Then exhale slowly and silently affirm, for I am the eternal soul. Repeat this 3 times with full awareness, letting each breath dissolve the veil of forgetfulness, letting each exhalation set free the divine memory of your oneness with God. Finally, with palms gently placed over your heart, whisper inwardly, God is within me. I am awakening. I am free. Rest in this silence for a few moments, feeling the vibration of these words resonate not only in your mind, but in every fiber of your soul. Know that this mantra is a living flame. Return to it whenever you feel lost or uncertain, and it will reignite the light of awakening within you, guiding you steadily toward the boundless love and wisdom of the infinite. Have you ever paused to truly carry a light in their faces? Worldly stress can dim down their bodies, their vitalities. Yogananda tree of chance or fate, power of thought shaping the very moment by moment, day by day, are not wisps of imagination. No, beloved, energy. A current rain pulses through the impresses itself upon the very, like a sculptor, your repeated patterns help the temple of your body. As a divine gardener, every thought, subtle soil of your astral body, of your physical form. These invisible seeds sprout tangible effects, health or disease, weakness, harmony. Yogananda revealed that our bodies, as material science suggests, of energy molded by consciousness. Your cells are listening to the vibrations of your mind, hands with unquestioning devotion. When your thoughts are anxious, your body responds tissues, disrupting it, lowering its defenses. Thoughts rise upward towards peace, joy, and divine the nervous system with cosmic rewiring the cells with health. From the dawn behind this mysterious connection as to channel divine intelligence, the masters have said, prisoner of heredity, under the weight of unconscious habit. The thought you choose carries with it, restore, and even Scripture will be ye transformed. These are not poetic words echoing through the ages. In harmony with divine truth, the astral patterns that sustain you reshape your destiny itself. The science of thought has been forgotten. We treat illness from outside forces. It begins as disharmony within, after remedies for the body, that commands it. The mind is the queen beehive. If the every cell of every bee, but if the queen is restless, confusion spreads through the. To heal and uplift your body, the vibrational commands center. 1. Let us enter this. In the next part of this journey, negative thoughts silently and weave karmic patterns. But do not be afraid. Be created. They can be dissolved in the radiant power of. With every you can rewrite the destiny in health that glows like a sun. Beloved soul, let us now patterns that many carry unknowing that silently weave illness in the body. Yoga, anger, resentment are not merely emotions, they are powerful vibrations that crystallizing astral spine. The flow of prana, the every cell. And when your physical body begins to consider how the heart races and muscles tighten as the body obeys the mind. Similarly, silent signals through the nervous cells in a state of chronic tension generate or heal. Lingers day after day, or intelligence of the body, and even altering its chemistry. Science calls this stress, something far deeper. Body through thought, violent physical planes. Past can leave lingering impressions. Traumas unredeemed. These dwell thought forms that replay their subtly shaping posture, cellular behavior. Repeats to themselves, unworthy, is uns of obedient cells to echo cells like loyal functioning to match the vibe. Over time, this becomes physical reality. Do not be disheartened. Language of negative thought can be real divine remembrance. Just as darkness cannot survive, no negative vibration is introduced through consciousness. This is why saints, even in the face of worldly suffering, no longer harbor the vibrations that have tuned every thought to the. Pause with me now and take a slow, deep. Imagine that each inhale draws divine energy golden spine, every nerve, and exhale, silent fear, anger. Feel it leaving you like dark light. Whisper in, are not my truth. And every cell in me vibrates. In this quiet moment, on the rewiring of your cells, release of negativity, intelligence to flow unimpeded, generate what was once weakened. Journey, I shall guide you. A positive, divine thought restores your body and Beloved one, shadows of negative thinking, to the radiant truth, Yogananda. Spiritual state of mind, it a current of cosmic wire every cell of your body, field of your consciousness. The thought of divine love, the affirm truth and light, and in goodness, you are inviting through your astral spine, vitality, clarity. Picture your body as a magnet. Every cell is an indirection. When clouded with fear, each instrument out of confusion in your body's rhythms. Rise in harmony with spirit, faith, joy, and the conductor, the higher mind, perfect unison. So attuned to cosmic intelligence, smallest cell vibrates with them, restoring health and awakening up for years. Spiritual affirmation, faith and concentration, change the chemistry of your brain, your nervous system, to every organ and tissue. This is spiritual, divine love and wisdom, with higher frequencies of cosmos. The physical body is merely it too begins to reflect. Illness fades, vitality, face and posture shift to more. Close your eye in a golden sun glowing with radiating beams of light throughout your body, flooding every part of you with warmth. Now silently affirm, shines with divine light, spirit's healing energy, living truth. Not just each time you repeat this, you are not only inspiring yourself, tangible currents of divine pathways that govern your physical. You learn to sustain such divine begins. The body illness gradually feels light. Old habits of weakness, emotional turbulence, and a natural joy radiating others into its glow. Power of thought. Not only rewrite the cellular script of reconnecting you with the immortal, in the next part of our journey, deepen this understanding by thought transmutation, consciously direct divine current, reshaping your health and beloved soul, how divine thought begins to. It is time to transmutation, the delivery mental energy into light that flow through your every cell. This great masters like Yogananda, nor does it tools. It is spirit-infused attention, bring devotion and faith, as a channel for God's intelligence. First, understand that you hold has a vibratory tone, a subtle scent in the astral. Thoughts soft fear, bitter, heavy vibrations that smoke. Higher thoughts of gratitude shine. The practice of these thought forms as they act the lower and to lift them into even the remnants of pain. Imagine your mind when a fearful thought arises to it or resist it with judgment. Hold it in the flame of silently affirming, transform this fear into light. As you feel the energy of fear carried by a golden current flowing, purified and rewoven into strength. Bring prana-life force and sit quietly, straightly lift your gaze to the spiritual, slowly and deeply, and visualize golden light streaming, flowing down the astral spine. With each breath, life, force, light. Feel this nerve of your being vibrate. As you exhale, current radiating outward into tissue, every cell, old stagnant vibrations, this intelligent life force. When thought becomes transmuted, but experienced as keeping your body from within. Echoed the vibrations of past hum with divine light, previously weighed down by karmic and brighter, lifting you to clarity. Repeat. Soon you will notice not just me, underlying joy that. Now, practice with a short yet potent hand upon your heart and silent divine thoughts. My cells are alive. Every breath renews. Feel this not as a hope but as a within you. In the next one, we shall explore luminous thoughts, and the astral spinal network through which spirit continual ritual destiny. But now journey into the inner sanctuary, unseen rivers of divine. Yogananda reveals intelligent life force of spirit, of health, vitality. Your thoughts, prana is the ship that carries the body. Without prana is like a song written on paper. With prana awakened in thought becomes a living vibration, cells, and uplifts reality. The astral miraculous transformation. Physical sight, it is a lace of your spine to the lined with spiritual centers that act as gateway flow. Each thought is this astral spinal network, restricting these gateways. Rise toward higher consciousness of worldly vibrations. Anger dominates the mind and outward, draining life's ability to regenerate. Uplifting thoughts, spirit with devotion and calm on upward like a golden flame, purifying the nerve, infusing your cells with the self. Imagine power station within you, make electricity through delicate corner of your being. Infusion, clogged, the current falters and cells. Yet the moment the channels clear freely again. Chakra becomes a transformer, translating the vibration of physical vitality, spiritual bliss. But potent way to harmonize. Sit upright with your gaze side. Inhale, seizing a stream of radiant light river. As the affirm, divine awakening every center. Feeling this light get bright and powerful. Slowly, imagining this gently down, bathing, washing away old fatigue. Repeat this times, allowing to awaken prana's silent in this state, beloved spirit. Thoughts of divine effortlessly through your prana themselves upon your astral body reshapes the physical temple you forgotten science of true healing alone, but in the combined thought and prana's living. In the next chapter of this sacred, deepen this understanding with a Kriya spiritual technique, circulates it through the astral, and infuses every cell vibration of the soul. Let us now step deeper in divine renewal. Workings reveal a method so profound dormant vitality, tension from the astral spine, very cells vibrate. Practice is not merely a breathing visualization. in of cosmic energy, spirit through the pathways of persistence. Straighten your spine, a column of body to the infinite heaven. Lift your gaze to the point between your eye. The divine door flows most freely, drawing the life force up as though inhaling the gold. Feel this current illuminating them one by subtle channels that have long been in worldly desires. Not with tension, but silently affirm, awaken. In the mood, visualize your molten gold, radiant to every nerve of your being. Then letting the divine current flow dower of sparkling energy, traces of fatigue, pain, or to you through the years. It becomes an act of purification, an act of divine remembrance, circulation, moving on, until you feel no air but the subtle tingling of rivers of light. With each just breathing, you are rewiring old patterns of decay, the intelligence of spirit. Yogis and saints defy the glowing with a light that does not, but to the immortal soul shine. Beloved, know this truth deep, practice this Kriya. You are not only cleansing your body vibrations stored in your these vibrations, often subtly influence incarnation. Upward with divine thought, karmic threads, an awakening that has always been hidden. Next sacred step of our journey to take this awakened energy, life, how to maintain conscious thought, noble spiritual discipline, becomes a silent meditation tool. Beloved, awaken the flow of divine cells with the luminous vibration. Learn to carry this sacred daily life. It is renewal only during work. The great mass word can either sustain this high, scatter it like wind blowing through. Truly rewire your cells, and you must live as a conscious every moment, turning the ceaseless meditation, returning immediately to stillness. Truths. Sit tall, gaze lifted, and remember the golden current. Kriya practice. Awaken again. Divine harmony. Imprints upon your steadiness and devotion. That's long after you have left your. As you move through your task, speaking, walking, and aware of the life force moving you draw is not mere energy feeding your nervous system. Harmony you have kindled. Affirm, I move in God, my temple. Each sends the neural and astral path to divine vitality. In the renewed patterns established, guard also the atmosphere of your thoughts are not harmless. They're tissue of your astral sheath, cosmic life force, in your health. When you know or despair beginning to rise, lift your gaze inward, energy upward, as you whisper, lift this shadow into thy light. You train your mind to become a servant of the senses, glowing with divine coherence. To sustain this new vibration yourself in uplifting and ground yourself with people, sounds that resonate with divine. You keep silently influencing the tone of your thoughts, of your body. Chant God's name throughout the day. Nature where prana flows abundant, astral and physical forms. Before sleep, current. Sit in still divine light through your spine. Disturbances of the day. Every action, whispering, but rest now in thee. Awaken my soul. Light. Sleep then, but a silent menstrual body continues to absorb, preparing you for another day of rest. The next sacred step of our journey, enter the deepest revelation. How it not only health and vitality, but spiritual powers, divine realization, and all. Beloved, now that you and divine prana sustain the, let us step into the most one. When your thoughts are fully, they do more than heal flesh. They open his, awakening spiritual you for lifetimes, ever closer to divine ultimate liberation. Of thought as a magnet. Thoughts are weak magnets outward, clinging to the wares and fleeting illusions. Becomes still, upgraded with divine remembrance, and grows powerful enough to reach within you and around you. Track vibrations of health and spiritual companion realms, silently, without strain or work. This magnetism is not mere law. As your thoughts naturally align with cosmic intelligence of prana downward through the brain, awakening spine. These set only dimly, begin to when the mind is pure and steady, faculties of the soul. The thoughts of others without guidance, whispering through into experience moments of expanded interconnected web of spirit. The saints and masters by chasing miracles, or they simply purified were no longer clouds obscure crystal clear lenses through which deducted. In this state, body vibrated with cosmic radiated blessings and inspired those around them without. Yogananda said that one who is taught becomes a human, silently uplifting count. Pause now and imagine this folding in your own life. Meditation. Your mind flowing upward toward the infinite, divine energy rising in your brain with waves of joy. With each breath, your heart feels lighter, and the world around you subtly now radiating from you. It is the soul awakening to of the infinite, silent command of spirit infused. When you live in this fear, illness, decay, you recognize that you are not a flame, but a channel of divine transforming every circumstance of higher thought. Yogananda's promise, the image of God, care to transcend all suffering, endless freedom of spirit. Sacred journey, We divine affirmation and living prayer that you can cells. Elevate your awaken the hidden spiritual power of the infinite. Beloved, bring together all that we have, every practice, and weave it into a living formation. This closing is not merely a final, it is a sacred key that can open where every thought is, every cell hums with every breath draws you near. Sit now and erect, shoulders of your head gently lifted toward eyes, and turn your gaze upward to where divine light. Place your right hand softly upon quiet rhythm, the pulse into every cell of your being. Settle naturally, is breathing through you, deeply, as if drawing boundless heavens above. He fills your lungs. Silent breath is divine energy, is spirit's wisdom. Feeling this truth, your spine, then exhale gently, fear, sorrow, or worldliness of God's light. When they say, I am cleansed, I am one with the new breath, feel from the base of your spine upward, illuminating them like radiant temple path. As if inwardly, my cells are rivers of exhale. Visualize into your arms, your leg, being, carrying wisdom to every part of you. Beloved, lift both hands as though offering your silently speak, beloved spirit, I thought. Let every word, let every cell light. Pause in this prayer, wave of peace descending, celestial hand resting on you with calm and silently. Place your hands soft times with deep feeling, infinite. My mind, wisdom, my body, joy. As these remain in silence, feel your cells humming with your thoughts purified and uplifted, expanding beyond the confines of. In this silence, you are no earthly limitations, cosmic intelligence, infinite. Carry this, repeated upon wake, and in moments of challenge or tension will deepen its imprint, gradually transforming, awakening hidden spiritual you step by step toward the high that you were never merely human and forever divine. This truth eternally, aligned with spirit, hold every cell, heal every shadow, and awake joy of your immortal soul. Breathe this light, and that you and the infinite are one for all eternity. Now let us create together a of this meditation and effort so that even in the busiest moment you can return to the silent temple and reawaken the vibration cell of your being. Elaborate preparation. Pause, breathe, action to the infinite. Sit upright for just a few minutes. Gently lift your inner gaze to this. Place one hand over your heart as you inhale slow golden light streaming down from heart and spine with warmth. Divine light flow as you hold the breath softly, radiating outward into awakening dormant vibration. Then exhale gently and silently affirm, I am light. Affirmation 3 times. Take you deeper into calmness. Now, still with I. Every thought, every cell vibrates with. Visualize your entire being in the darkness, spreading peace all around you. Bring your palms together and with reverent devotion. I am a spark. Mind is rewired by divine shines with spirit's eternal. This final affirmation in silence, feeling subtle hum of divine energy. In this silence, source of life force, reminded of its divine blueprint, has quietly taken another enjoy. Dawn to begin your day, at midday to realign, sleep to cleanse and uplift your ass. Over time, this habit, a daily wells, until you no longer but live each motion of the infinite. Close soul and gently lifts, but with a quiet point between the eyebrows, it softly shines, and feel the steady rhythm of whisper from the infinite calling you home. Inhale slowly, imagining golden light descending into the crown of your head and cascading through your celestial energy. And divine light flow this breath softly, spreading to every cell in wisdom. As you releasing all heaviness and tension, I am renewed. Once more, breathe, feel it streaming through your being and whisper inwardly, awakens divine power within me. Illness. And as you add worries, silently of shadows, I shine. A final breath now, slower, filling you completely. Every cell of my body, hold, feel the depths of your soul. Your entire being rest in peace. I am one with the infinite. Bring your palms soft with profound reverence. Repeat 3 times. Infinite. My mind is, my body shines. Remain in stillness, seeing golden light surrounding you, transforming you. Carries divine intelligence with eternal vitality, living presence, divine energy. You are. When you are ready, and slowly open your vibration with you into your day. A few minutes of sacred remembrance and awaken the silent you. Beloved's flow of words and sound, a final blessing. Bless you into every moment of your earthly eyes once more. And in love shining above you, down upon your head. Of doubt, fear, feel this radiant warmth into your very breath. Awakening the know this, mortal, tossed helpance. You were never thought or the shifting tides of fear, and always have been, flame. A ray of the stars that breathe, that whispers silently. When you close your eyes, breathe with reverence, spirit. You awaken and unlock a power no earthly force. I bless you now with the calm assurance of every step. May your golden birds soaring in the clear sky, your breath carry silent current into every cell of your script of your life with heart and joy. Fixed upon the light that never wavers around you shifts and changes, sing as a living fire in your spark of the infinite. No shadow, I am forever one with the eternal. In this truth, beloved, grace, rearrange your destiny, aligned with spirit, dissolves, rewires lifetimes of, prepares you for a future radiant. Go forth then, not path, but as a luminous, a silent beacon of God's love. Beloved soul, as you prepare to rest tonight, let this sacred moment become more than sleep. Let it become a journey of your spirit into realms of divine light, where peace flows like a quiet river, where angels guard your steps, and where the whispers of God guide you in dreams brighter than dawn. As your body sinks into stillness, feel the weight of the day melting away. The thoughts that have pressed upon you loosen, like clouds drifting from a moonlit sky, revealing the silent, eternal presence of spirit. Tonight, as you drift beyond waking consciousness, your soul will not wander aimlessly. It will soar, wrapped in the protection of divine love, carried upward toward the infinite. These 6 hours are not simply teachings, they are a living masterclass for your soul, a stream of Paramahansa Yogananda's timeless wisdom that will bathe your mind, heal your heart, and quietly rewire your very being as you sleep. You will be guided through the hidden power of thought that heals and transforms, through the subtle signs that you are spiritually awakening, and through revelations of how certain souls are chosen as divine messengers on earth. You will travel into the depths of what Jesus truly taught, truths hidden from the world for centuries but unveiled for the soul that seeks light. As you journey deeper, you will be shown how to burn away lifetimes of karma with a single invocation, how even past burdens can be transformed into divine blessings, and how mysterious experiences like waking between 3 and 5 a.m. or feeling animals drawn to you carry profound spiritual meaning. And as you rest, the deeper truths of family and soul connection will unfold, the shocking yet liberating realization that your children may carry the vibrations of past life karma, offering chances for healing and redemption in this very life. Beloved, as these teachings flow through you tonight, your consciousness will not remain chained to worldly restlessness. Instead, layer by layer, karmic bonds will loosen, divine protection will enfold you, and your soul will climb the luminous ladder toward spirit. Before you close your eyes, place your hands softly upon your heart and whisper silently, I am surrounded by God's light. My soul journeys safely in divine dreams. I am protected, I am free, I am awake in spirit. Now, release every last tension. Feel Divine Mother's presence beside you, a gentle hand on your brow, assuring you that no shadow can touch you here. Breathe slowly and deeply, as though inhaling light itself, and exhale all that has weighed you down. Rest now, beloved soul. The infinite watches over you. Your journey into celestial dreams begins. Beloved soul, have you ever paused to truly wonder why some people seem to carry a light in their faces, a radiance that no worldly stress can dim, while others appear weighed down, their bodies aging faster than their years, their vitality dimmed by invisible burdens? Yogananda taught that this is not a mystery of chance or fate, is the unseen power of thought shaping the very structure of our bodies, moment by moment, day by day. Thoughts are not wisps of imagination floating harmlessly through the mind. No, beloved, each thought is a living energy, a current of vibration that enters the brain, pulses through the astral spine, and impresses itself upon the very cells of your physical form. Like a sculptor chiseling away at marble, your repeated patterns of thinking silently sculpt the temple of your body. Imagine your mind as a divine gardener and your body as the garden itself. Every thought you plant takes root in the subtle soil of your astral body, which is the blueprint of your physical form. Over time, these invisible seeds sprout and blossom into tangible effects: health or disease, vitality or weakness, harmony or imbalance. Yogananda revealed that our bodies are not fixed mechanical machines as material science suggests. They are living fields of energy molded by consciousness itself. Your cells are listening, always listening, to the vibrations of your mind, obeying its commands with unquestioning devotion. This is why, when your thoughts are anxious, dark, or fearful, your body responds in kind, tightening its tissues, disrupting its natural rhythms, lowering its defenses. And yet, when your thoughts rise upward towards spirit, infused with peace, joy, and divine remembrance, they flood the nervous system with cosmic life force, rewiring the cells with health and radiant vitality. From the dawn of creation, God designed this mysterious connection as a gift, allowing you to channel divine intelligence directly into your body. The masters have said, "You are not a helpless prisoner of heredity, nor are you condemned to suffer under the weight of unconscious habits forever." Every thought you choose carries with it the power to renew, restore, and even recreate your physical form. Scripture whispers this truth: "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." These are not poetic words, they are laws of spirit echoing through the ages. When you think rightly, in harmony with divine truth, you reshape the astral patterns that sustain your cells, and thus you reshape your destiny itself. This hidden science of thought has been forgotten by many in the modern world. We treat illness as if it were a random attack from outside forces, ignoring that it often begins as disharmony within. We chase after remedies for the body while neglecting the consciousness that commands it. Yogananda revealed that the mind is the queen bee and the body is the hive. If the queen moves in divine rhythm, every cell of every bee follows in harmony. But if the queen is restless or lost in shadow, confusion spreads through the entire hive. To heal and uplift your body, you must begin by lifting the vibrational commands center your thought. Beloved one, let us enter this divine science together. In the next part of this journey, I shall reveal how negative thoughts silently disrupt the harmony of your cells and weave karmic patterns of illness. But do not be afraid, for just as these patterns can be created, they can also be unmade, dissolved in the radiant power of spirit-infused thinking. With every conscious, uplifting thought, you can rewrite the destiny of your body and awaken health that glows like a sun from within. Beloved soul, let us now shine light upon the shadowed patterns that many carry unknowingly, the negative thoughts that silently weave illness and disharmony into the temple of the body. Yogananda taught that fear, anger, resentment, and ceaseless worry are not merely emotions passing through the mind. They are powerful vibrations that lodge themselves in the astral body, crystallizing into energy knots along the astral spine. These knots obstruct the natural flow of prana, the divine life force that animates every cell. And when that flow is obstructed, your physical body begins to reflect the disharmony of thought. Consider how, in moments of deep anger, the heart races, the breath grows shallow, and muscles tighten as though preparing for battle. The body obeys the mind's command instantly. Similarly, long-held fear sends silent signals through the nervous system, keeping your cells in a state of chronic tension, unable to fully regenerate or heal. When hopelessness or self-doubt lingers day after day, it suppresses the vibratory intelligence of the body, weakening its immune defenses and even altering its chemistry. Modern science calls this stress, but Yogananda saw it as something far deeper: karma being written into the body through thought, vibrating down into the astral and physical planes. Even memories from the past can leave lingering impressions on your cellular consciousness. Traumas unhealed, regrets unredeemed, these dwell in the subconscious as thought forms that replay their energy over and over, subtly shaping posture, breath, and cellular behavior. A person who silently repeats to themselves, "I am weak, I am unworthy," is unknowingly instructing trillions of obedient cells to echo that belief. These cells, like loyal servants, align their functioning to match the vibration of the mind. Over time, this becomes not just a thought but a lived physical reality. But beloved, do not be disheartened. What has been written in the language of negative thought can be rewritten in the luminous script of divine remembrance. Yogananda revealed that just as darkness cannot survive before a lamp's flame, no negative vibration can remain when divine light is introduced through conscious, uplifting thought. This is why saints radiate health and joy even in the face of worldly suffering. Their minds no longer harbor the vibrations that create illness. They have tuned every thought to the harmony of spirit. Pause with me now. Close your eyes gently and take a slow, deep breath. Imagine that each inhale draws in a current of pure, divine energy, golden light filling your brain, your spine, every nerve and cell. As you exhale, silently release every thought of fear, anger, and unworthiness. Feel it leaving you like dark mist dissolving in sunlight. Whisper inwardly, "These thoughts are not my truth. I am Spirit's light, and every cell in me vibrates with divine harmony." In this quiet moment, know that you have already begun the rewiring of your cells. With each conscious release of negativity, you make room for divine intelligence to flow unimpeded, to heal and regenerate what was once weakened. In the next part of this journey, I shall guide you into the transformative power of positive, divine thought, the living energy that restores your body and rewrites the very pattern of your life. Beloved one, having released the shadows of negative thinking, let us now awaken to the radiant truth Yogananda revealed. Positive, spiritual thought is not merely a pleasant state of mind, it is living divine energy, a current of cosmic life force that can rewire every cell of your body and transform the entire field of your consciousness. Each time you hold a thought of divine love, each moment you silently affirm truth and light, you are not just imagining goodness, you are inviting Spirit itself to flow through your astral spine, infusing your cells with vitality, clarity, and healing power. Picture your body as a magnificent orchestra. Every cell is an instrument awaiting the conductor's direction. When thoughts are erratic or clouded with fear, the orchestra plays in discord, each instrument out of tune, creating confusion in your body's rhythms. But when your thoughts rise in harmony with Spirit, when they are anchored in faith, joy, and divine remembrance, the conductor, the higher mind, brings every instrument into perfect unison. The music of your being becomes so attuned to cosmic intelligence that even the smallest cell vibrates with the melody of divine order, restoring health and awakening strength that may have slept for years. Yogananda said that a single spiritual affirmation, repeated with deep faith and concentration, carries enough power to change the chemistry of your brain, to uplift the currents of your nervous system, and to send healing instructions to every organ and tissue. This is not imagination. This is spiritual law. Thoughts of divine love and wisdom align your astral body with higher frequencies of cosmic energy. And because the physical body is merely the shadow of the astral, it too begins to reflect this upliftment. Illness fades, vitality returns. Even the face and posture shift to mirror the awakened light of the soul. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a golden sun glowing within your spiritual eye, radiating beams of light throughout your brain and down the spine, flooding every part of you with warmth and brilliance. Now silently affirm, "Every cell of my body shines with divine light. My thoughts are channels of Spirit's healing energy." Feel these words as living truth, not just sounds in the mind. Each time you repeat this with focused awareness, you are not only inspiring yourself, you are sending real, tangible currents of divine power through the astral pathways that govern your physical form. When you learn to sustain such divine thought, a transformation begins. The body that once seemed heavy and prone to illness gradually feels lighter and freer. Old habits of weakness give way to vitality. Emotional turbulence calms into serenity, and a natural joy radiates outward, drawing others into its glow. This is the hidden power of thought, not only to change your mood, but to rewrite the cellular script of your entire being, reconnecting you with the immortal energy of your soul. In the next part of our journey, beloved, we shall deepen this understanding by entering the sacred practice of thought transmutation, where you will learn how to consciously direct divine currents into your cells, reshaping your health and destiny from the inside out. Beloved soul, now that you have felt how divine thought begins to restore harmony to your being, it is time to enter the sacred practice of transmutation, the deliberate transformation of ordinary mental energy into luminous currents of healing light that flow through your astral body and rewire every cell. This practice, revealed by great masters like Yogananda, is not complex, nor does it require special rituals or tools. It is simply the art of conscious, spirit-infused attention, focused with unwavering devotion and faith, until your very thinking becomes a channel for God's intelligence to move through you. First, understand this. Every thought you hold has a vibratory tone, a color, a subtle scent in the astral world. Lower thoughts soft fear, bitterness, self-doubt are heavy vibrations that cloud the astral body like smoke. Higher thoughts soft truth, divine love, gratitude shine like radiant streams of light. The practice of transmutation is to notice these thought forms as they arise, to reject the lower and to lift them into the higher, transforming even the remnants of pain into spiritual gold. Imagine your mind as an alchemist's crucible. When a fearful thought arises, do not cling to it or resist it with judgment. Instead, hold it in the flame of divine remembrance by silently affirming, "Beloved Spirit, transform this fear into courage, this shadow into light." As you repeat this, feel the energy of fear dissolving upward, carried by a golden current flowing through your spine, purified and rewoven into strength. Next, bring prana life force into this practice. Sit quietly, straighten your spine, and gently lift your gaze to the spiritual eye. Breathe slowly and deeply, and as you inhale, visualize golden light streaming into the crown of your head, flowing down the astral spine like a river of divine energy. With each breath, silently think, "Life, force, flow through me as healing light." Feel this living current gathering in the center of your being, vibrating with vitality and peace. As you exhale, visualize this current radiating outward into every nerve, every tissue, every cell, washing away old stagnant vibrations and replacing them with luminous, intelligent life force. This is the moment when thought becomes transmuted, not merely imagined, but experienced as a tangible energy reshaping your body from within. The cells that once echoed the vibrations of past negativity begin to hum with divine light. The astral body, previously weighed down by karmic impressions, grows lighter and brighter, lifting you toward a state of radiant health and clarity. Repeat this daily, and soon you will notice not just moments of peace, but a steady, underlying joy that transforms your very presence. Now, let us seal this sacred practice with a short yet potent affirmation. Place your hand upon your heart and silently whisper, "I think divine thoughts. I radiate divine health. My cells are alive with Spirit's joy. Every breath renews me in God's light." Feel this not as a hope, but as a living truth vibrating within you. In the next part of our journey, beloved one, we shall explore the hidden link between these luminous thoughts, the flow of prana, and the astral spinal network, the divine pathway through which Spirit continually reshapes your physical and spiritual destiny. Beloved soul, let us now journey into the inner sanctuary of your being, where unseen rivers of divine power flow ceaselessly. Yogananda revealed that prana, the intelligent life force of Spirit, is the true architect of health, vitality, and spiritual awakening. Your thoughts are the captains, but prana is the ship that carries those thoughts into every cell of your body. Without prana, thought alone remains like a song written on paper but never sung. With prana awakened and guided, divine thought becomes a living vibration that rewires your cells and uplifts your consciousness toward immortality. The astral spine is the pathway for this miraculous transformation. Invisible to physical sight, it is a luminous channel running from the base of your spine to the point between your eyebrows, lined with spiritual centers, or chakras, that act as gateways for cosmic energy to flow. Each thought you hold gently influences this astral spinal network, opening or constricting these gateways, allowing prana either to rise toward higher consciousness or to sink into the heaviness of worldly vibrations. When fear or anger dominates the mind, prana is pulled downward and outward, draining life force and weakening the body's ability to regenerate. But when you think divine, uplifting thoughts, when you turn inward towards Spirit with devotion and calmness, prana is drawn upward like a golden flame, illuminating the brain, purifying the nervous system, and infusing your cells with the intelligence of the soul itself. Imagine, beloved, a hidden power station within you, sending currents of cosmic electricity through delicate wires to every corner of your being. If those wires are tangled with confusion, clogged by restless thoughts, the current falters and cells are starved of their divine nourishment. Yet the moment you align your thoughts with Spirit, the channels clear, and life force flows freely again. In this way, every chakra becomes a transformer of divine energy, translating the vibration of God's wisdom into physical vitality, mental clarity, and spiritual bliss. Let us now practice a simple but potent way to harmonize this pranic flow. Sit upright with your gaze softly lifted to the spiritual eye. Inhale slowly, visualizing a stream of radiant light rising up your spine like a golden river. As the breath ascends, silently affirm, divine energy flows upward, awakening every center. Hold the breath gently, feeling this light gather at the spiritual eye, bright and powerful. Then exhale slowly, imagining this same light cascading gently down, bathing every cell in golden warmth, washing away old impressions of sickness or fatigue. Repeat this sacred circulation several times, allowing the rhythm of breath and thought to awaken prana's silent intelligence. In this state, beloved, you become a co-creator with spirit. Thoughts of divine health and light are now carried effortlessly through your pranic channels, impressing themselves upon your astral body, which in turn reshapes the physical temple you inhabit. This is the forgotten science of true healing, not found in external remedies alone, but in the conscious cooperation between divine thought and prana's living current within you. In the next chapter of this sacred journey, we shall deepen this understanding with a Kriya-based renewal practice, a spiritual technique that gathers prana, circulates it through the astral spinal highway, and infuses every cell with the immortal vibration of the soul. Beloved one, let us now step deeper into the luminous sanctuary of divine renewal, where Yogananda's sacred teachings reveal a method so profound that it can awaken dormant vitality, clear lifetimes of tension from the astral spine, and transform the way your very cells vibrate. This Kriya-inspired practice is not merely a breathing exercise or a mental visualization. It is the conscious circulation of cosmic energy, a direct communion with spirit through the pathways of prana that silently govern your existence. Sit with me now in stillness. Straighten your spine so that it stands like a living altar, a column of divine light connecting the earthly body to the infinite heavens. Gently lift your gaze to the point between your eyebrows, the spiritual eye, the divine doorway through which cosmic energy flows most freely. Breathe in slowly, drawing the life force upward from the base of your spine, as though inhaling the golden essence of God Himself. Feel this current rise through each chakra, illuminating them one by one, purifying the subtle channels that have long been knotted by restless thought and worldly desires. Hold the breath softly, not with tension, but with sacred reverences. You silently affirm, "In Thy light my cells awaken. In Thy power I am renewed." Visualize your astral spine glowing like molten gold, radiating warmth and vitality into every nerve, every muscle, every corner of your being. Then exhale slowly, letting the divine current flow downward in a gentle shower of sparkling energy, washing away all traces of fatigue, pain, or karmic residue that has clung to you through the years. Each exhalation becomes an act of purification, each inhalation an act of divine remembrance. Continue this circulation, moving breath and thought together as one, until you feel not only the physical movement of air but the subtle tingling of prana coursing through your body like rivers of light. With each cycle, you are not just breathing, you are rewiring your cells, dissolving old patterns of decay, and imprinting upon them the intelligence of spirit. This is how great yogis and saints defy the limits of time and illness, glowing with a light that does not belong to flesh alone, but to the immortal soul shining through it. Beloved, know this truth deeply. Every time you practice this Kriya-inspired renewal, you are not only cleansing your body, but also clearing the karmic vibrations stored in your astral sheath. These vibrations, often carried across lifetimes, subtly influence the health and fate of your current incarnation. By consciously directing prana upward with divine thought, you untangle these karmic threads and awaken the blueprint of divine perfection that has always been hidden within you. In the next sacred step of our journey, we shall explore how to take this awakened energy and weave it into your daily life, how to maintain this new vibration through conscious thought, noble action, and spiritual discipline, until every moment of your day becomes a silent meditation of cellular and soul renewal. Beloved soul, having now awakened the flow of divine prana and infused your cells with the luminous vibration of spirit, you must learn to carry this sacred current with you into the river of daily life. It is not enough to feel divine renewal only during moments of meditation and breathwork. The great masters teach that every thought, word, and action throughout the day can either sustain this higher vibration or scatter it like wind blowing through sand. To truly rewire your cells and transform your destiny, you must live as a conscious channel of divine energy at every moment, turning the ordinary rhythms of life into a ceaseless meditation. Begin each morning by returning immediately to stillness before the noise of the world intrudes. Sit in silence, spine tall, gaze lifted gently to the spiritual eye, and remember the golden current that you circulated during your sacred Kriya practice. Whisper inwardly to yourselves, awaken again. Remain in divine harmony. This first conscious act of the day imprints upon your astral body a vibration of steadiness and devotion that subtly guides your actions long after you have left your seat of meditation. As you move through your tasks, whether working, speaking, walking, or even eating, remain aware of the life force moving within you. The breath you draw is not mere air. It is Spirit's energy feeding your nervous system and sustaining the harmony you have kindled. Pause frequently to silently affirm, I move in God, I think in God. My body is Spirit's living temple. Each such affirmation strengthens the neural and astral pathways that link thought to divine vitality, helping your cells retain the renewed patterns established in meditation. Guard also the atmosphere of your mind. Negative thoughts are not harmless. They are like thorns piercing the tender tissue of your astral sheath, interrupting the flow of cosmic life force and gradually altering cellular health. When you notice anger, fear, or despair beginning to rise, stop and breathe. Lift your gaze inwardly and gently redirect that energy upward, as you did in the Kriya practice. Whisper, Beloved Spirit, lift this shadow into thy light. In this way, you train your mind to become a servant of Spirit rather than a tyrant of the senses. And your cells respond by glowing with divine coherence rather than discord. To sustain this new vibrational state, immerse yourself in uplifting environments. Surround yourself with people, words, and sounds that resonate with divine truth. For the company you keep silently influences the rhythm of your breath, the tone of your thoughts, and the vitality of your body. Read sacred scriptures, chant God's name throughout the day, and spend time in nature where prana flows abundantly, harmonizing your astral and physical forms. Finally, before sleep, return once more to the golden current. Sit in stillness and circulate divine light through your spine, washing away any disturbances of the day. Offer every thought, every action, every impression to the infinite, whispering, Beloved Spirit, I rest now in thee. Purify my cells, awaken my soul, carry me into thy boundless light. Sleep then becomes not a loss of awareness, but a silent meditation where your astral body continues to absorb divine energy, preparing you for another day of radiant living. In the next sacred step of our journey, beloved, we shall enter the deepest revelation of Yogananda's teaching on thought, how it not only rewires your cells for health and vitality, but also awakens hidden spiritual powers, magnetizing your soul toward divine realization and ultimate liberation. Beloved, now that you understand how sacred thought and divine prana sustain the living harmony of your body, let us step into the most wondrous revelation of all. When your thoughts are fully rewired by Spirit, they do more than heal flesh and uplift vitality. They open hidden gateways of consciousness, awakening spiritual powers that have slept within you for lifetimes, powers that draw your soul ever closer to divine realization and ultimate liberation. Yogananda often spoke of thought as a magnet. Ordinary, restless thoughts are weak magnets, scattering energy outward, clinging to the world of senses, desires, and fleeting illusions. But when your thinking becomes still, uplifted, and saturated with divine remembrance, its magnetism grows powerful enough to reorder the very currents of life within you and around you. Your thoughts begin to attract vibrations of health, joy, wisdom, and spiritual companionship from the unseen astral realms, silently reshaping your destiny without strain or worldly striving. This magnetism is not mere chance, it is a divine law. As your thoughts climb higher, they naturally align with cosmic intelligence, drawing streams of prana downward through the crown, energizing the brain, awakening dormant centers of perception in the spine. These centers, which most people feel only dimly, begin to vibrate with divine energy when the mind is pure and steady, opening the intuitive faculties of the soul. Suddenly, you may sense the thoughts of others without words, feel divine guidance whispering through intuition, or experience moments of expanded awareness where you perceive the interconnected web of Spirit flowing through all things. The saints and masters did not develop these abilities by chasing miracles or seeking worldly powers. They simply purified their thoughts until their minds were no longer clouds obscuring the sun of spirit, but crystal clear lenses through which divine light could shine unobstructed. In this state, every cell of their body vibrated with cosmic harmony. Every thought radiated blessings, and their very presence healed and inspired those around them without effort. This is why Yogananda said that one who has mastered the power of divine thought becomes a human dynamo of spirit, silently uplifting countless souls. Pause now and imagine this transformation quietly unfolding in your own life. See yourself sitting in meditation, your mind clear, thoughts flowing upward toward the infinite. Feel currents of divine energy rising in your spine, illuminating your brain with waves of joy and understanding. With each breath, your cells glow brighter, your heart feels lighter, your intuition sharpens, and the world around you subtly shifts to mirror the inner light now radiating from you. This is not fantasy, it is the soul awakening to its true nature as a spark of the infinite, rewriting its own destiny through the silent command of spirit-infused thought. Beloved, when you live in this way, you no longer fear illness, decay, or limitation. You recognize that you are not a fragile body at the mercy of time, but a channel of divine intelligence capable of transforming every circumstance through the vibration of higher thought. You become a living example of Yogananda's promise. That man, made in the image of God, carries within himself the power to transcend all suffering and return to the boundless freedom of spirit. In the final step of this sacred journey, we shall seal these teachings with a divine affirmation and meditation practice, a living prayer that you can repeat daily to rewire your cells, elevate your thoughts, and awaken the hidden spiritual power that unites you forever with the infinite. Beloved soul, let us now bring together all that we have shared, every insight, every practice, every whisper of divine truth, and weave it into a living, breathing ritual of transformation. This closing affirmation and meditation is not merely a final note to our journey. It is a sacred key that can open for you a new chapter of existence, where every thought is aligned with spirit, every cell hums with divine intelligence, and every breath draws you nearer to the eternal freedom of your soul. Sit now in stillness, spine erect, shoulders relaxed, the crown of your head gently lifted toward heaven. Close your eyes and turn your gaze upward to the point between the eyebrows, where divine light silently beckons. Place your right hand softly upon your heart, feeling its quiet rhythm, the pulse of life flowing from the infinite into every cell of your being. Let the breath settle naturally, as though the universe itself is breathing through you. Now inhale slowly, deeply, as if drawing streams of golden light from the boundless heavens above. As this luminous energy fills your lungs, silently affirm, every breath is divine energy. Every thought is spirit's wisdom. Hold the breath for a moment, feeling this truth vibrating through your chest, your spine, your entire body. Then exhale gently, releasing every remnant of fear, sorrow, or worldly attachment into the vastness of God's light. With this exhalation, silently say, I am cleansed, I am renewed, I am one with the infinite. With each new breath, feel the golden current rising from the base of your spine upward through every chakra, illuminating them like radiant lamps along a sacred temple path. As this energy ascends, whisper inwardly, my body is spirit's temple, my cells are rivers of divine light. As you exhale, visualize these rivers flowing outward into your arms, your legs, your entire being, carrying blessings of health, joy, and wisdom to every part of you. Now, beloved, lift both hands slightly, palms upward, as though offering your very being to the divine. Silently speak from the depths of your soul. Beloved Spirit, let every thought I think be thy thought. Let every word I speak be thy song. Let every cell of my body shine with thy light. Pause in this prayerful offering and feel a wave of peace descending gently upon you, like a celestial hand resting on your head, blessing you with calm and silent strength. Finally, place your hands softly on your lap and repeat 3 times with deep feeling. I am a spark of the infinite. My mind is rewired by divine wisdom. My body vibrates with Spirit's eternal joy. As these words echo within, remain in silence for a few moments. Feel your cells humming with divine vitality, your thoughts purified and uplifted, your soul expanding beyond the confines of time and space. In this silence, you are no longer a seeker bound to earthly limitations. You are a radiant channel of cosmic intelligence, living as a reflection of the infinite. Carry this affirmation with you each day. Repeat it upon waking, before sleep, and in moments of challenge or doubt. Each repetition will deepen its imprint upon your astral body, gradually transforming your physical cells, awakening hidden spiritual powers, and guiding you step by step toward the highest realization that you were never merely human, but always and forever divine. Beloved, know this truth eternally. Divine thought, when aligned with spirit, holds the power to rewire every cell, heal every wound, dissolve every shadow, and awaken you fully to the boundless joy of your immortal soul. Live this truth, breathe this light, and walk with a serene knowing that you and the infinite are one, now and for all eternity. Beloved one, now let us create together a short yet potent daily version of this meditation and affirmation, designed so that even in the busiest moments of your life, you can return to the silent temple of spirit within and reawaken the vibration of divine thought in every cell of your being. This practice requires no elaborate preparation, only your willingness to pause, breathe, and remember your eternal connection to the infinite. Find a quiet place where you can sit upright for just a few minutes. Close your eyes and gently lift your inner gaze to the spiritual eye. Place one hand over your heart and feel its steady rhythm. As you inhale slowly, visualize a golden light streaming down from above, filling your heart and spine with warmth. Silently affirm, "Divine light flows into me now." As you hold the breath softly, feel this light radiating outward into every cell of your body, awakening dormant vitality and wisdom. Then exhale gently, releasing all tension, and silently affirm, "I am renewed. I am light." Repeat this simple breath and affirmation 3 times, allowing each cycle to take you deeper into calmness and divine remembrance. Now, still with eyes closed, whisper inwardly, "Every thought is a seed of spirit. Every cell vibrates with God's joy." Visualize your entire being glowing softly like a lamp in the darkness, spreading silent rays of healing and peace all around you. To seal the practice, bring your palms together in front of your heart, and with reverent devotion, repeat 3 times. "I am a spark of the infinite. My mind is rewired by divine wisdom. My body shines with Spirit's eternal joy." After this final affirmation, sit for just a moment in silence, feeling the stillness of the breath and the subtle hum of divine energy coursing through you. In this silence, know that you have touched the eternal source of life force, that every cell has been reminded of its divine blueprint, and that your soul has quietly taken another step toward boundless freedom and joy. Practice this brief meditation at dawn to begin your day infused with divine clarity, at midday to realign your energy, and before sleep to cleanse and uplift your astral body during rest. Over time, this short practice becomes a sacred habit, a daily rewiring of your thoughts and cells, until you no longer feel separated from spirit, but live each moment as a luminous expression of the infinite. Close your eyes, beloved soul, and gently lift your gazano with the physical eyes, but with the quiet inner gaze of spirito, the point between the eyebrows, the window where divine light softly shines. Place your hand over your heart and feel the steady rhythm of life, each beat a whisper from the infinite calling you home. Now, inhale slowly and deeply, imagining golden light descending from above, flowing into the crown of your head, filling your heart, and cascading through your entire spine like a river of celestial energy. Silently affirm within, "Divine light flows into me now." Hold this breath softly, feeling this radiant light spreading to every cell, awakening hidden strength and wisdom. As you exhale slowly, releasing all heaviness and tension, silently say, "I am renewed, I am light." Once more, breathe in golden light, feel it streaming through your being as a silent blessing, and whisper inwardly, "Every breath awakens divine power within me." Hold it gently in stillness, and as you exhale, surrender all worries, silently affirming, "I release all shadows. I shine with Spirit's joy." A final breath now, deeper, slower, golden rays of the infinite filling you completely. Silently say, "Every cell of my body vibrates with God's light." Hold, feeling this truth humming in the depths of your soul. Exhale, letting your entire being rest in peace, whispering, "I am one with the infinite." Now, beloved, bring your palms softly together before your heart. With profound reverence, silently repeat 3 times. I am a spark of the infinite. My mind is rewired by divine wisdom. My body shines with Spirit's eternal joy. Remain in stillness for a moment, sensing golden light surrounding you, flowing through you, transforming you. Every thought now carries divine intelligence. Every cell hums with eternal vitality. Feel this truth as a living presence. You are light, you are divine energy, you are a radiant expression of Spirit. When you are ready, take a gentle breath and slowly open your eyes. Carry this vibration with you into your day, knowing that in just a few minutes of sacred remembrance, you have touched the infinite and awakened the silent power of divine thought within you. Beloved soul, before we part in the flow of words and sound, let me place upon your spirit a final blessing, a sacred charge to carry with you into every moment of your earthly journey. Close your eyes once more and imagine the great sun of divine love shining above you, its rays pouring gently down upon your head, washing away every trace of doubt, fear, and weariness. Feel this radiant warmth sinking into your heart, into your very breath, into the silent rhythm of your soul, awakening the remembrance of who you truly are. Know this: you were never a frail mortal, tossed helplessly on the waves of circumstance. You were never bound by the fleeting shadows of thought or the shifting tides of fate. You are, and always have been, a spark of the infinite flame, a ray of the same eternal light that moves the stars, that breathes life into galaxies, that whispers silently in every moment of stillness. When you close your eyes in prayer, when you breathe with reverence, when you lift your thoughts towards Spirit, you awaken this hidden truth and unlock a power no earthly force can diminish. I bless you now with the calm assurance that divine wisdom guides your every step. May your thoughts be lifted upward like golden birds soaring in the clear sky of Spirit. May your breath carry silent currents of divine energy into every cell of your being, rewriting the script of your life with harmony, health, and joy. May your inner gaze remain fixed upon the light that never wavers, even as the world around you shifts and changes. Carry this blessing as a living fire in your heart. I am a spark of the infinite. I live in the light of divine wisdom. No shadow can touch my soul, for I am forever one with the eternal. Walk now in this truth, beloved, and watch as unseen hands of grace rearrange your destiny. Each thought aligned with Spirit dissolves years of hidden burdens, rewires lifetimes of limitation, and prepares you for a future radiant with divine freedom. Go forth then, not as a seeker uncertain of the path, but as a luminous channel of the infinite, a silent beacon of God's love on earth. Beloved soul, have you ever felt an invisible stirring within, as though something quiet yet profound is shifting beneath the surface of your life? Perhaps you've noticed that things which once thrilled you no longer hold the same spark, or that you find yourself searching for meaning in places you had never looked before. This is not mere change, it is the divine call of your soul awakening to a higher reality. Spiritual awakening is not a sudden thunderclap that shakes the heavens, nor is it a dramatic event marked by outward signs that others can see. It is far more sacred and subtly gradual unveiling of the eternal truth already dwelling within you. It is the soft light of dawn touching the horizon of your consciousness, guiding you out of the long night of forgetfulness and into the radiant morning of divine remembrance. Today, I shall reveal to you 7 signs that the Spirit is awakening in your heart, drawn from the timeless wisdom that God has allowed me to share, so that you may recognize and nurture the sacred journey your soul has already begun. When this awakening first stirs, the world around you may feel different. This brings us to the first sign of spiritual awakening: a growing restlessness with worldly pleasures. Once, the glittering jewels of material success, sensual joys, and fleeting achievements may have seemed to hold everything you sought. You may have chased wealth, recognition, or physical delights, believing they would fill the silent emptiness within. But as the soul begins to stir, you notice these pleasures no longer satisfy. The music of the world plays on, yet your heart does not dance as it once did. Instead, you feel a subtle longing for something more enduring, something that no earthly treasure can provide. This is not depression or mere discontent. It is the bird of your soul stretching its wings within the cage of Maya, yearning to soar into the limitless sky of Spirit. In truth, this is a divine blessing, For only when the heart grows weary of chasing shadows does it begin to seek the eternal light. Ask yourself now, do you feel this pull? This quiet knowing that something higher is calling you home? The second sign of spiritual awakening is an unexplainable longing for silence and solitude. As the inner call of spirit grows stronger, you may find yourself seeking quiet corners of the day, moments where you can simply sit, breathe, and listen. Noise and constant activity, once comforting or stimulating, now feel burdensome, as though they drown out a delicate melody you yearn to hear. This is because your soul is beginning to attune to the whisper of the divine. Like a seed dropped into fertile soil, the awakening soul germinates in silence, nourished by stillness, unseen by outward eyes. You may find yourself retreating from crowds, craving walks alone in nature, or feeling inexplicably drawn to moments of prayerful quiet. Do not mistake this for isolation or weakness. It is the sacred preparation of your consciousness for communion with God. In these moments of solitude, even without deliberate meditation, divine light begins to seep gently into your mind and heart, preparing you for the next steps on your journey homeward. As this process deepens, another unmistakable sign emerges: heightened sensitivity to thoughts and vibrations. You begin to notice things that once escaped you: the energy of a room as you enter, the weight of words spoken by others, even the silent intentions hidden behind a smile or a frown. Certain places may feel heavy or unsettling, while others uplift you with peace and joy. This is because as your soul awakens, your astral body becomes more refined, attuned to subtle forces most people cannot yet perceive. You feel the ripples of thought as though they were breezes against your skin. You sense truth and falsehood not merely with reason, but with an inner knowing that bypasses the intellect. This sensitivity is both a gift and a responsibility. It draws you naturally toward uplifting environments, harmonious company, and divine teachings, while gently steering you away from what diminishes your spiritual energy. You may find yourself longing for holy places, sacred music, or the calm presence of spiritual friends without fully understanding why. This, beloved, is your soul remembering its true home and guiding you toward it. Beloved, as the light of awakening grows within you, it begins to silently draw you toward that which nourishes the soul. This is the fourth sign of spiritual awakening, a stronger pull towards spiritual teachings and masters. You may suddenly feel an irresistible desire to read holy books, to hear words spoken by saints and sages, to sit in the company of one who radiates divine wisdom. Teachings that once seemed dull or too lofty now stir something deep in your heart, as though you are hearing an old and beautiful song remembered from lifetimes past. This is no accident. It is divine magnetism at work. The guru-disciple relationship, the bond between teacher and seeker, does not begin in this life alone. It is formed in the soul ages ago, and when the moment is right, it draws you like a river returning to the ocean. You may not yet understand every truth you hear, but you feel it as real, alive, and meant for you. Trust this pull, for it is spirit leading you gently toward the guidance that will help you remember who you truly are. Yet as you step onto this higher path, do not be surprised when a new and sometimes uncomfortable sign appears. Inner conflicts begin to surface for healing. The fifth sign of spiritual awakening is not always peaceful at first. Old wounds, unhealed sorrows, karmic tendencies buried deep within the subconscious begin to rise like sediment stirred from the depths of a river. This is not punishment or regression, it is divine purification. Imagine a window long covered in dust. When light shines upon it, the dust becomes visible, not to condemn the glass but to reveal the work needed to let the light stream through fully. In the same way, the awakening soul must face its shadows so they may be dissolved. You may feel moments of confusion or emotional turbulence as past patterns come to the surface. Yet know this: every struggle you face is a divine invitation to release the chains that once bound you. Through prayer, meditation, and surrender to spirit, each old knot is untied, leaving you freer and more luminous than before. As these inner obstacles are cleared, another radiant sign begins to bloom in your heart, increasing moments of spontaneous love and compassion. This sixth sign of awakening is a gift of grace, where suddenly you find yourself moved by tenderness for strangers, for animals, for the trees and rivers, for the whole living world. Even those who have wronged you begin to stir feelings not of anger, but of understanding and mercy. This is because the veil of ego is thinning. The soul, glimpsing its oneness with all creation, naturally expresses divine love without reason or condition. Like a rose unfolding its petals, your heart begins to emit a fragrance that comforts and heals, not by effort but simply by being. Yogananda taught that this selfless love is not something we manufacture. It is the natural quality of the soul itself, shining forth as Maya loosens its grip. When you notice compassion rising in you unbidden, know that spirit is awakening your divine nature, turning you into an instrument of peace for others. And finally, beloved, the seventh sign of spiritual awakening is the most precious and profound, a subtle joy arising without outer cause. In quiet moments, when no achievement has been won, when no worldly pleasure surrounds you, you may feel a bliss bubbling up like a hidden spring in the desert of daily life. It may be a sudden lightness in your chest, a smile forming without thought, a deep sense of contentment unshaken by circumstance. This joy is not born of the senses, but of the soul, whispering its eternal song of freedom and divine belonging. It is the sunlight of spirit breaking through the clouds of delusion, reminding you that true happiness has never been lost, it has only been forgotten. When this joy touches you, even briefly, hold it gently in your awareness and know that it is the promise of what lies ahead. As awakening deepens, this divine bliss will grow steadier and brighter until it fills every moment, every breath, with the unmistakable presence of God. Beloved seeker of truth, now that we have walked together through these 7 sacred signs of spiritual awakening, let us pause and take them into the silence of our hearts. Restlessness with worldly pleasures, longing for solitude, heightened sensitivity, the divine pull towards spiritual teachings, inner conflicts rising for healing, spontaneous compassion, and the emergence of causeless joy. Each of these is a quiet bell ringing within your soul, announcing that spirit is drawing nearer to your consciousness. Perhaps as you listened, you recognized only 1 or 2 of these signs. Perhaps you saw all 7 reflected in your life's unfolding. Do not measure your progress by comparing yourself to others or to some imagined standard of perfection. Awakening is not a race nor a ladder to climb, it is the gradual dawning of divine remembrance, unique and sacred for every soul. Just as the morning sun does not burst into full light at once, but slowly paints the horizon with soft hues before reaching its zenith, so too does spiritual awakening unfold gently and in divine order. Some signs may appear for a season and seem to fade, only to return with greater depth when your soul is ready. Others may blossom quietly without your noticing until you look back and realize how much you have changed. This is the mystery and beauty of God's grace at work within you. Trust it. Trust the silent hand of the infinite, guiding you through every moment of doubt, every flicker of yearning, every whisper of joy that cannot be explained. To nurture this awakening, beloved, cultivate the sacred practices that keep your soul turned toward the light. Begin and end each day in silence, even for a few moments, lifting your heart to God as you would to a beloved friend. Practice meditation not as a duty but as a homecoming, where your restless thoughts find rest in the still embrace of spirit. Seek out uplifting teachings and the silent company of those who walk the path of truth, for their vibrations will harmonize with yours and draw you upward. Above all, live with devotion, letting love guide your thoughts, words, and deeds. Remember that spiritual awakening is not meant to separate you from life, but to infuse every moment of it with divine awareness. As you walk among others, as you work and serve and face the daily challenges of this world, carry this inner knowing. You are not merely a body or a personality, you are a radiant soul, awakening to its eternal nature in God. And as you awaken, you become a beacon of hope and inspiration for others still wandering in the dark. Your restlessness with illusion, your longing for truth, your compassion and joy, all of these are not only gifts for you but silent blessings for everyone whose life touches yours. Now, beloved, close your eyes with me for a moment. Feel the quiet stirring in your heart, the gentle pulse of spirit moving like a hidden river beneath the surface of your thoughts. Whisper silently within, I am awakening. I am remembering my true self. God's light guides me always. Let this affirmation sink deeply into your soul, planting itself like a seed that will surely grow into the towering tree of divine realization. Go forth now with this blessing. May your path be illumined by the wisdom of spirit. May your heart overflow with causeless joy. And may you awaken more fully each day until you stand in the boundless freedom of your eternal self, knowing beyond all doubt that you are one with the infinite. Here is the short poetic mantra to seal the teaching and anchor the awakening in the seeker's heart. Close your eyes, beloved soul, and take a deep breath.